Good morning, Goshen Middle School, 7th graders. Hey, I wanted to just tell you that this is the beginning of something we are calling Therapeutic Thursdays. During this window, you're going to have 3 opportunities to learn about self-care. What is self-care? Self-care is, get this, when we take care of ourselves. Okay, there are times when we worry about everybody else. We take care of everybody else. We worry about what's going on with them. How can we help them? And we don't take care of ourselves. In the midst of all that, we worry about everybody but ourselves. And it's okay sometimes to take care of ourselves. We might think that's a selfish thing to do, but it's really, really important. And it's a skill that you're going to need all through your lifetime. So practicing self-care. During this window, on Therapeutic Thursdays, we're going to identify some stressors. We're going to talk about how to manage stress. And I want you, if you think you're the only person who has stressors in their lives, think again. Everybody has stressors. Everybody all over the world has stressors in their lives. The teachers in your classroom have stressors. Your mom and dad have stressors. People that you see walking down the street, walking in the hallway, they all have stressors. And it's really important that everyone learn how to practice positive self-care. Before we go too much further, I want to tell you what the objectives are for Therapeutic Thursday. This will go for all of the Therapeutic Thursdays that we have over the next couple of weeks during this window. Okay, here it is. Students will be able to identify stressors common to adolescents and describe forgot to put that in there. Appropriate stress management techniques. Appropriate stress management techniques. That's an important word, appropriate stress management techniques, because there are a lot of different ways that people try to handle their stress in very inappropriate ways that cause harm to oneself or to other people, and that's not what we're talking about here. So students will be able to identify stressors that are common to adolescents and then describe appropriate stress management techniques. Okay, so we've identified that everybody has stress in their lives. I want you to think about your own stressors, things that you have that create stress for you in your life. Think about that for just a couple of seconds. Okay, now I'm going to have you turn to your shoulder partners. Partner A will go first, partner B will go second, and I want you to tell your shoulder partner 3 things that cause stress for you in your life. What are 3 things? It could be in school or out of school. 3 things that bring stress to your life. And I'm going to give you 15 seconds for both of you to share. Go ahead. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to stop, and I need you to focus back up on the screen. Give your attention to me, please. Okay, I hope maybe that you found out that you had some commonalities with your shoulder partner so that you understand that there are other people who have similar stressors in their lives as you do. In just a minute, we're going to watch a video from YouTube about teens and stress, and this video was created by a high school student who created this video as a project for his technology class. Now, as you listen to the video, I want you to think about what he says about the kinds of stress he gives examples of. I want you to think about what is stress, what brings it on. And I want you to think about some things that you hear that you connect with. What do you feel like, oh, that sounds like me? I want you to think about that. And think about what you're learning as you listen to the video. So this is by Recoil Boy. So please give your attention to the screen as we learn a little bit about teens and stress.
According to a recent study, about 75% of high school students say that they suffer from the physical and psychological symptoms of stress. On top of that, many people who have stress don't even know. Let's take a closer look. So you may be wondering, what exactly is stress? Stress is your body's natural way of preparing for a challenge. It does this by increasing the production of hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. This can give you heightened alertness, focus, strength, and stamina. Normally, your body's stress response is a good thing, but it can cause problems when it fails to shut down. After a while, it will wear your body out and can cause serious problems. So now you may be wondering, where does stress come from? Let's take a look at some high school students for answers. This is Todd. Todd plays guitar, does charity work, and dances 5 times a week. He is completely overscheduled and can't seem to focus. This is Maya. Maya has just moved and is trying to accustom herself to a new school, new house, and new teachers. This sudden change of environments is wearing her out. This is Fred. Fred plays football on the school team and is very good at it. But the whole school puts a lot of pressure on him before every game to perform well. You better win! He is always afraid of embarrassing himself and his school before every game. Bob's parents are currently getting a divorce. Both his mom and dad are putting pressure on him, but Bob's determined not to take sides. This is Hannah. Hannah's parents only want the best for her, and they try to motivate her to do well in school, but Hannah can't deal with the pressure they seem to put on her. This is Christopher. Christopher is having trouble keeping up with schoolwork and is constantly procrastinating. His grades are starting to drop, but he keeps on getting more and more homework. This is Julia. Julia doesn't know what she wants to do after high school. Although she's not the only one, this uncertainty troubles her. This is Simon. Simon is currently having troubles with his girlfriend, and the whole situation is stressing him out. So as you can see, stress can be caused by a range of different factors that can vary from person to person. So what are some of the effects of stress? Stress can cause panic attacks, anxiety, drug problems, depression, social problems, stomach aches, allergic reactions, high blood pressure, headaches, skin conditions, diabetes, and asthma, and the list goes on and on. In fact, stress leads to so many problems that over 65% of all doctors' office visits are stress-related. So if stress is such a widespread problem, there must be something that can be done to stop it. Yes, there are in fact many ways that you can reduce stress. For example, try not to fill up your schedule. Only do the most necessary things and work your way up from there. Another thing you can do is exercise for about half an hour each day. If you don't overdo it, exercise can help clear your mind. You should also try to sleep at least 9 to 10 hours per day. Another thing you can do is just learn to relax. This can be achieved by listening to music, meditating, or going to the spa. These activities help your body to initiate the relaxation response, which decreases the amount of stressful hormones in your system. Now that you know everything you need to know about stress, I would like to thank everybody for watching my video.
I thought he did a really great job on that creation, and I really appreciated the information that he gave. You learned 2 new vocabulary words. You've heard of adrenaline, I'm sure, and I bet you had not heard the word cortisol before. Cortisol is a chemical in our body that reacts to stress. And when the stress level rises, the cortisol level rises. And that's where we get into trouble. It creates some problems for us. Okay, I want you to turn to your shoulder partners again. And this time what you're going to share, and I'm going to let partner B go first this time and partner A will go second. But I want you to think about what you heard from Recoil Boy in this video. What did you connect with that you said, boy, that sounds like me. I can relate to that. And then share that with your partner. And I also want you to share something new that you learned about stress or responses to stress that you hadn't really thought about before. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to talk about that. So again, share something that you connected to in the video that sounded like me. And I want you to also share something new that you've learned. You have 30 seconds. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody, focus back up here. Thank you for doing that quickly. Okay, so now you've heard what causes people stress. You've learned some things in the video and maybe connected with some things, and hopefully you learned some new things from the video. All right. Well, one of the things that Recoil Boy said in his video was that we can learn to reduce the stress in our lives if we just learn how to relax. And learning to relax will decrease the stress hormones in our body called cortisol that he mentioned. So if we learn how to relax, we can relieve some of the tension that's in our body and reduce those stress hormones and just make ourselves feel better. One of the ways that we are going to learn how to relax or practice relaxing is we're going to do some deep breathing techniques right here, right now. Something I want you to be aware of when we do deep breathing is that there are some special techniques that you have to use when you do it. They're not hard. It's just important that you use them. Okay, for instance, when we are tense, we tend to breathe very shallowly in our chest. It's not very deep, and we maybe breathe quicker, and we start to panic a little bit. So and we have so much tension in our shoulders, we need to let go of some of that. So when we learn how to do some deep breathing, our breaths move from being shallow in our chest to going down to our diaphragm, right in the belly area. And so we call it belly breathing because we're trying to get our breaths as far down as we possibly can. That's one of the techniques I'm talking about, that we have to bring it down as deep as we can. Another technique is that it's not fast breathing. Let me tell you that when you are breathing to relax, it does not sound or look like this. Okay. That's not relaxing at all. That's just going to keep you tense or make you more tense and cause you to hyperventilate, and that's not going to be any good. When you deep breathe, you don't always hear yourself when you're breathing, and nobody else necessarily hears you when you're breathing. So it might sound more like this. See, you really couldn't hear me when I was breathing. And as I was doing those breathing exercises, I was already starting to feel a reduction of tension in my body. I started to feel a little bit warm even, but I could feel my shoulders relax, I could feel my chest relax, and I could feel my stomach relax. That's what deep breathing can do for you too. The cool thing about deep breathing is that you can do it anywhere. You can do it in the cafeteria when it's very chaotic and noisy. You can do it when you're standing by your locker and you're trying to get ready for your next class. You can do it when you're driving in your car or riding in your car. I know that's one thing I do. It helps me an awful lot when I've had a really rough day, and I practice my deep breathing on the way home, and it helps reduce the tension so that by the time I get home, I'm fairly relaxed. So deep breathing is really great. So the two techniques you have to remember is that it's slowly breathing and it's deep breathing. All right. So we're going to practice, and what I want you to do, first of all, is just place your hands on your belly right about here, okay? And when we breathe in, we're going to breathe in through our nose. And when we exhale, we're going to breathe through our mouth. Okay, so we're going to inhale or breathe in through our nose and exhale through our mouth. And sometimes it helps people to count when they're doing it. So it's hard for me to coordinate breathing and counting and talking to you. So I'm going to just show you that when I'm inhaling, I'm going to be counting in my head to 4. And then when I exhale, I'm going to count in my head to 6 or 8. Not 4, but 6 or 8. It's important that you try to exhale longer than you inhale because that increases your ability to relax and reduce tension. Okay, so you're going to put your hands on your belly. You're going to inhale when I tell you through your nose, and you're going to exhale through your mouth. all right? And you're not going to be making noisy breathing sounds, all right? Let's be cool about this and let's just do it appropriately. So count in your head, if it helps, to 4, and then when you exhale, count to 6 or 8. Let's try that. You ready? We're going to inhale through our nose. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale through our nose. And exhale. Now the reason that I want you to have your hands on your belly is that I want you to notice what happens when you have a deep belly breath. You should be able to feel your hands move away from your body a little bit when you're inhaling and move closer to your body when you're exhaling, okay? Imagine that you're going to get a pot belly, I ate too much for lunch, if you are getting a really deep breath. So your belly expands, and then when you inhale, your belly reduces in size. So let's try that and see if you can notice. Hands on your belly, and we're going to breathe in, count to 4 in your head. When you exhale, count to 6 or 8, and see if you can feel your hands moving. Are you ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, now do me a favor and just drop your hands to your side. Shake your hands out a little bit. Loosen your shoulders and just sit there for a couple of seconds. Okay, thank you for doing that. I know it feels awkward if it's something that you haven't done before, but thumbs up for trying it and being courageous to do that. We are going to do more of the deep breathing exercises as we go along in the Therapeutic Thursdays, so be prepared because we are going to practice that. But thank you, you've done a really good job. Now I'm going to move into our next activity. Okay, so we've been talking about self-care and we've been talking about relaxation and stress and how to do some deep breathing exercises. And now we're going to move into the final part of our self-care activity today. And before we get started, I'm going to have you talk to your shoulder partner again. The first question, I want partner A to turn to your shoulder partner, and I want you to think of somebody you really admire. It could be an adult or another student, it could be a friend of yours. And I want you to tell your shoulder partner who that person is, and I want you to tell them 5 things that you like or admire about that person. What is it that you like or admire about that person? So partner A, turn to your partner, please, and tell them, answer that question, and you have 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Focus back up here, please. Do I have everybody's attention? Okay. Now, partner A, it's your turn again, and I'm going to have you turn to your shoulder partner, and I'm going to give you another 20 seconds, and I want you to tell your partner 5 great things about yourself. So turn to your shoulder partner and tell your shoulder partner 5 great things about yourself. You have 20 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop. All right. Now, I want you to think about, okay, you had to name 5 qualities about a really good friend or somebody that you admired, and you had to describe 5 things that you're really good at, or say 5 good things about yourself. Which one of those was easier to talk about? The person you liked and admired, or to talk about yourself? My guess is that you're going to say it was easier to talk about the person that you liked and admired. And why is it? It's easier to talk about other people and to say positive things about other people than it is to talk and say positive things about ourselves. And that moves into what our next activity is. It's about positive self-talk. Positive self-talk is self-talk that encourages and promotes healthy thoughts, and helps you live a better life. We are very hard on ourselves as human beings, and it's very easy to point out the negatives. I bet if I gave you a piece of paper and I said, tell me 10 things that you can't do well or 10 things that are wrong with you, I bet you'd be able to fill that out really fast. But if I said, tell me 10 good things about yourself, it would take you a really long time to do that. Why is that? Why is it so much harder to talk about ourselves in positive ways? Why is it easier to pick out the negative things? So we are going to do an activity about power talking and positive self-talk. We're really hard on ourselves, so I want you to practice getting better at recognizing the good things about yourself and telling yourself those things. Okay, we are going to do something I said called power thinking, and I want you to look up here at this this chart I have on my wall. This is an activity I did with some students last year. They had to create something similar to this where it says, I am creative, I am this, I am that, and they had to describe positive things about themselves. Well, you're going to do an activity similar to this. It's going to look a little bit different. It's upside down. You're going to have a paper that you are going to answer 3 things. You're going to say, I am, I can, and I will. And you're going to complete those sentences, and you're going to do that on your paper. And so if I were to give an example, where's my marker right here? Okay, if I look up here, and I'm going to think about what are some things about myself that I might write on here, I could say, I am smart. I am a good soccer player. I am a good friend. Okay? Then the next one is, I can. I can speak 2 languages. I can take a safe risk. I can do better in school. And then finally, you're going to answer the statement or finish the statement that says, I will. And I will be nicer to my parents. I will compliment 2 people today. I will practice my foul shots. So why do I want you to do that? Well, as I said, we're really hard on ourselves and we forget to focus on the positives. And if we can begin by recognizing what we're good at, things that we can do, and we can focus on some things that maybe we want to improve upon in the future, then we're going to help ourselves with healthy thoughts, improving our lives, just getting better all around at what we're doing, and we're practicing positive self-talk. We're going to talk more in the coming weeks, in the coming Therapeutic Thursdays, about positive self-talk. So I'm going to have your teachers give you the handout, and I want you to think about it. I want you to take this seriously. When you're done, I want you as a class to share some of the things that you have written down on your power statements. So be thinking about it, give it some good thought, and do a good job. I'm really interested in seeing some of the things that you might put together. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for participating in the first Therapeutic Thursday. And we have more to come with relaxation, self-care, and the power of positive self-talk. So thank you very much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day.